was a bit of aware of it on Rope, I must say. And I think it was a little bit of the tail wagging the dog. The technique was kind of pushing the film, whereas I hope and I think the way certainly the way Sam wanted this, and I think we've been successful, is the technique is not altering the story, it's adding to the story and adding to the audience experience of the story. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think in Rope, especially because the equipment was so big and everything, they were forced to do these particular setups on the scenes, and it all felt a little bit a technical exercise, and that was, I must say, I felt the danger when Sam said, you know, he thought he had conceived this as a single take. I thought, well, you know, let's hope we don't get bogged down and it becomes a technical exercise. I mean, we literally travelled miles with a camera, miles, and in various different situations and conditions, and yeah, I mean, it was like, and again, I say, we just didn't want that to become it was a technical challenge, but if any of that is on the screen, we failed, you know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want it to impinge on the feeling of being there that you want to give the audience, yeah. Most of the daylight scenes, all the daylight scenes are natural light. There's some dusk scenes that have lighting on them, and all the night scenes, and there's some interiors as well, they're all lit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're all lit, especially specialist lamps. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a scene in the trailer where they've got flashlights. Well, the flashlights, we spent a number of weeks getting the right beam, getting the right bulb LED to go in it, and then getting the right batteries that the thing would last long enough to do long takes and not interfere with the performances and stuff. So I mean, and it was controlled on a remote dimmer. So I mean, it looks like just a little flashlight, but it was a lot of actually quite high-tech stuff went into that flashlight. Well, when you work with anybody, it helps, because it just helps building up a kind of understanding of each other's likes and dislikes and a trust between you. But I mean, it was the first film I did with Sam Jarhead. I think it had more influence than anything on this, because although we did it totally differently, Jarhead we shot handheld and we didn't rehearse. We basically shot rehearsals and then built the, you know, the coverage up and the shot up as we kept rehearsing, basically. And this was very much something we had to work out in beforehand, you know. But I think that informed the way of working as much as anything. For me, it's also my documentary experience. I think, you know, brought a lot. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the rehearsal time. I mean, a lot of the rehearsal time was just to sense how long the trenches need to be, how big the sets needed to be, the geography of the sets, and before they could start designing and building the sets and digging the trenches, we had to know if that was the right space, walking at the speed that Sam wanted the actors to walk at and saying the dialogue he wanted them to, you know what I mean? All the action had to fit, so you had to figure that out before the sets were